Okay, so as you probably know if you've been on the internet, week 1 of Coachella just finished. Well, not just, we're in the middle of the next week. So we're in the middle of week 1 ending and week 2 beginning. If you've been to Coachella, let me know how you were enjoying yourself. I once again missed it and I'm once again upset about it. That's fine. Maybe next time. And it always happens around my birthday. Like I feel like my birthday's on the 14th. And it will usually be the weekend around my birthday that is week 1 of Coachella. So it'd be so fun to go on my birthday, but just hasn't happened this time and it might happen next time, who knows. My social media will be in the description along with my beach channel, book channel and podcast. I have a lot going on right now, but subscribe to that bell, like, comment for engagement, and let's just get into the drama that has ensued with Coachella. So Coachella is heavily working with a brand called Revolve. It is a clothing brand and they're basically providing a lot of the outfits for people. By people I mean influencers, as if influencers are not people, you know, they're different kind of people. They're providing a lot of influencers with outfits for Coachella to take pictures with and tag them and, you know, do the whole shebang. Now, what I wasn't aware of is that Coachella obviously is the main event, and then there'll be a lot of side parties and side events happening around Coachella, which is basically just capitalizing on the size of Coachella and like the popularity of Coachella. So you'll have different events happening in like the half an hour to an hour radius around Coachella, and whoever is kind of like hopping in and out of Coachella can go to these other events and obviously spend money there and have fun there and then go back the next year. And that's what's been going on with Revolve. Revolve has its own festival that is happening around like 40 minutes away from, now this has been murky. If you're not living in California, you're not, like, I can't fact check this, but a lot of people say it's like a 30 to 40 minute drive away from Coachella. So you have Coachella and then you drive a little bit away and there's Revolve Festival. Now Revolve happens kind of during the day. It's like essentially just like a party for influencers to mingle and network and have fun and show off their Revolve outfits. And then they'll go to Coachella kind of middle of the day to see the headliners at Coachella. That's kind of like the vibe, the aesthetic. Now, I've been seeing a lot of influencers get invited to Revolve and I was so confused as to what it was. There's like big YouTubers and even big celebrities. I know Kim Kardashian was pictured there. Just a lot of people are going to Revolve, taking pictures, doing interviews, that kind of thing. So it seems very legit. Like it wasn't one of those like dingy side parties. Like clearly a lot of big names were going to Revolve and then possibly going to Coachella or possibly not going to Coachella. It just kind of depends on the vibe. A lot of big influencers, mainly fashion bloggers, got involved. By involved, I mean invited to go to this party, and they obviously were given a bunch of clothes, and they're normally influencers that have already been working with Revolve in the past on PR lists, sponsorships, etc. They already have a relationship with Revolve, so they got invited. This is giving me very much Dote vibes. I don't know if you guys remember Dote. It's actually recently Emma Chamberlain came up on my recommended, and I was just thinking about, you know, back in the day, her hanging out with the Dote girls, and, you know, these type of videos that were like 10 million views of them just hanging out and going to Coachella and doing all these fun things together and going on these Dote brand trips. You guys remember Dote brand trips? Dote brand trips. How many times am I going to say that and not mess it up? And then there were obviously a lot of issues with Dote, and Dote being then cancelled as an app because they were only really inviting white girls. They were only inviting a specific body type. They were really, like, even if they did invite someone that wasn't white or thin or whatever it was, they were not treated as well as the white girls. So they were showing the rooms that white girls got compared to any POC creators that were invited, and then they were showing like the events and how they were treated during, and like to the point where even the photographers were like heavily focusing on taking pictures of the white girls rather than the POC girls, or just everyone. Just taking pictures of everyone. That was not the case. So Dote got heavily cancelled and heavily scrutinized for it. And I'm seeing the same stuff happening around Revolve, where a lot of people are saying that it's just very much giving Dote 2.0. We're getting the same like bunch of girlies in their outfits that are white, quite thin, just being invited to Revolve to show off the outfits, and people are kind of showing that criticism of it. But that's not actually what today's video is about, because Revolve Festival is now being compared to Fyre Festival. And when I saw that, I had to put my investigative hat on and go on TikTok and try and find these things. But it was kind of difficult because I feel like when you looked up Revolve Festival, there was a bunch of people showing like, get ready with me for Fyre Fest, not Fyre, see, it's already in my head. Get ready with me for Revolve Festival, you know, showing their outfits, showing how they're preparing for the trip, and not a lot from the actual festival. So then I did more investigating, as I probably should. Let me talk about Fyre Festival for just a minute though, if you're obviously unaware. There is actually a whole documentary on Netflix that is quite great. I love it. I've watched it like 3 times already because it's just such an addictive watch, and you're just like unfolding this mess, this like mayhem, and you're just like, how did anyone agree to this? And how did anyone not see an issue with this? Anyway, Fyre Festival was essentially created for rich people by rich people. It was supposed to be a festival that is the most luxurious festival around. Like, it's supposed to be yachts and mansions and like Michelin star cuisine and a private island that is like built or customized for this event. And people of the likes, you know, Kendall Jenner, Bella Hadid, Gigi Hadid were all promoting this, and they were putting like this orange box on their Instagram that was supposed to be like teasing this event. And then they all said that they were going to Fyre Festival. They were allegedly paid for this, but then it was an undisclosed ad, allegedly. So there were some lawsuits to do with undisclosed ads later, and then there was also just lawsuits regarding the festival just being a scam, essentially. So it was a big flop. You know, the packages were in the tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars that people were spending to go there. So it was essentially just like the richest of the rich paying to go to this exclusive festival. Allegedly, you would get like different perks based on how much money you put on this card that you were using at the festival. So they'd give you like a card and you'd have to top it up, and then you could use that to pay for things when you got there. And apparently if you put on at least 50,000, you'd get like all these perks, and then if you put on 100,000, you'd get all the other perks, etc, etc. But it was supposed to be like mansions and houses on water and yachts and parties and champagne, and it was supposed to be very much like the most elite of elite kind of activities. Now, tell me why all the influencers and all the rich people that got there were invited to tents that were not great, like not like luxury tents, no, like a tent with a little bed, and then they would give in like sandwiches with just like a slice of cheese on it, but like that was like the Michelin star cuisine that they were paying tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars for. And we were seeing this mess unfold on Twitter like in real time, but except we didn't spend the money, they did, and we were sitting at home going, haha, that's what you get for trying to once again one up everyone else. Like, Coachella's not enough, we need Fyre Festival. So obviously everyone came back, it was a big scandal, and then we get all the documentaries, aka the Netflix one. Now, people are starting to compare Revolve to Fyre Festival, and I was like, oh my god, is there another scandal? Are we gonna get another Netflix documentary? No. People are just being dramatic for the sake of being dramatic. Correct me if I'm wrong though, like I feel like I've tried to watch as many TikToks as possible, and I tried to get through as many as possible. This just looks like a subpar event, but not Fyre Festival. Like, it just wasn't Fyre Festival. So in your Revolve, like I said, is a side party to Coachella. People get invited. Now, here's the first piece of scandal. I actually found out because I was seeing, and I hate to be shady, but I feel like it must be very expensive to put on an event close to Coachella at the same time as Coachella, because I feel like during Coachella, obviously everyone's capitalizing on the area being very expensive. So everything to do with that area is just like oozing in expensive. So I'm assuming like renting out space near Coachella during Coachella is very expensive. So obviously they rented out this space and they had to invite people over, and they were sending people a bunch of free clothes, and they were, you know, putting on this event and inviting, I believe I saw Jack Harlow and Post Malone and Kim Kardashian and Kendall Jenner just being there at the event. I'm assuming they were paid for the performances and paid for the interviews. So it was a lot of money going into Revolve Festival as a side piece to Coachella. But I was seeing a lot of smaller influencers being invited, and now I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm not. But there were some smaller, you know, 5,000 followers, 10,000 followers, which is a lot, but it's also not Kim Kardashian, Kendall Jenner, Jack Harlow, and not these like big 1 million, 2 million Instagram accounts about fashion. Because I saw some big accounts going, but also very small ones. So I was wondering, you know, is it just because they're trying to be inclusive about everyone's follower accounts? I don't know. But then I saw someone post an email that was being sent out right before Coachella that said, if you haven't been invited to Revolve Festival because you're big and, you know, whatever, and you have a relationship with the brand, you can just buy a $2,000 gift card to Revolve, and that will give you automatic VIP access to the Revolve party.
The Revolve Festival is an invite-only party that's going on the same weekend as Coachella.
Revolve Festival isn't invite only. You can pay $2,000 to get a gift card and get a free ticket. They sent this email out right before Coachella.
Which then gives you access to Coachella, because they were giving out VIP passes to Coachella at Revolve. But that's, you had to spend the $2,000 and then you could just buy yourself clothes for the gift card later, or you could just buy them for the event. But essentially, there were some people that were being sent free clothes and were invited to Revolve for free, and then would be invited to Coachella for free. But there were some people that allegedly paid this $2,000 gift card situation to look like they were these people, but they were really these people. That's the first scandal. So I'm assuming maybe what happened was too many people showed up. Like, I feel like if they had just kept it to this curated list, they would have had an exact amount of people that they were like prepared and ready for. But then they had offered some influencers this like 2,000 deal, and I feel like a lot of people wanted to look like they were invited, so maybe a lot of people did pay the 2,000, and maybe they were just like overpopulated, oversaturated at Revolve Festival, because what ended up happening is people were waiting hours for the shuttles to come to get them from Revolve to Coachella, because that was the whole thing. You come to Revolve, you have fun, you network, they give you VIP access to Coachella, and then they bring you a shuttle to travel the 30 minutes to Coachella, and then you get into Coachella.
POV. You're waiting to get into Revolve Festival.
Apparently the influencers were like beefing in front of the shuttle about like who's going on first, who has priority, who's important. And I saw actually tweets on Twitter, because where else would I see them? I don't know. Breaking, LA Mag, hashtag Coachella dispatch. Sources on the ground telling us there is apparently drama going down at Revolve Festival that sinks to the level of Fyre Festival. Influencers stranded in the dirt with no water under the hot sun for hours waiting for buses that aren't coming to bring them to the actual festival. Alleged fights, screaming, everyone is dizzy. LA Mag told the police are coming, and in an only in LA moment, Coachella edition, security had crowds of influencers yelling how important they were and why they deserved the first seat. LA Mag's sources spoke to security on the ground about the chaos, and one of the guards said, I don't know who the F these people are, I don't know who's actually important and who's lying, or if any of them are important, more to come. And then revision, I don't know who is actually important and who is lying, or if any of them are important. Then we have, wow, the Revolve Festival at Coachella was the most unorganized event I've ever gone to. They had people waiting outside in the heat with no water. There was no data to even call an Uber to leave. I was sitting in line for 3 hours. There's so much more. Oh my God. And then on top of the scandal, so apparently they were waiting there for the shuttles to come. A lot of people then didn't get into Coachella because they got to Coachella too late, which I don't know if that's like a personal issue. They didn't manage their time well, or it was the shuttle problem.
Respond, but we are clearly getting ready for the Revolve Fest. We're on our way right now. Anyways, we go, show up, and yes, we have tickets. Our wristbands are literally right here. They are VIP. We should have been let in, but we went specifically for hairstyles. And basically they said we got there too late, even though we got there way before the last act.
Because some people said they just got there too late and they weren't let in. I believe last access to Coachella was 10 p.m. and some people arrived after that and weren't let in because they were already at full capacity. But yeah, apparently people got VIP access to Coachella but then didn't really get let in. So that was the drama, that like the party was just boring and disorganized, and then people were arguing over shuttles and who gets to go to Coachella first. But people are now comparing this to Fyre Festival, where like people spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to be given a sandwich with a slice of cheese on it.
Really? Alright, we got two.
Oh my God.
These people are like, we haven't got one turn in 4 lines.
I think we're comparing apples and oranges, but of course it still sucks to be stranded there, but you were stranded at an exclusive party for influencers. Then we also have E! Online essentially, writing an article saying Travis Scott gives surprise performance at Revolve Festival party. So he was banned from Coachella, but apparently Revolve still took him on. Apparently Travis got in the DJ booth with the DJ Chase B. An eyewitness at the party told E! He played the bangers, but Goosebumps was the crowd please. The source continued, people were super excited to see him. Everyone was dancing and singing along. And then Kylie Jenner was not spotted there, but she was spotted at Coachella later on. So inviting Travis Scott to an event, probably not the best idea. And then there are some TikToks that I'm just gonna play for you guys about just people's experiences at Fyre Festival. Why am I calling it Fyre Festival? It's already stuck in my head now. About Revolve Festival, basically just talking about kind of like their experience.
Do you guys want to hear about Revolve Festival from today? It was insane, but these tweets just sum it up and it's perfect. Breaking. Sources on the ground telling us that there is apparently drama going down at the Revolve Festival that sinks to the level of Fyre Festival. Influencers stranded in the dirt with no water under the hot sun for hours waiting for buses that were coming to bring them to the actual festival. Alleged fights, screaming, everyone is dizzy. Only in LA moment, Coachella edition, security had crowds of influencers yelling how important they were and why they deserved the first seat. Security on the ground said, I don't know who the fuck these people are. I don't know who's actually important or who is lying or if any of them are important. Revision. I don't know who's actually important and who's lying or if any of them are even important. You guys, it was all of that and more. People were raiding the buses. The bus drivers refused to come back. I saw 3 people pass out in line myself. Wild.
Let's talk about Revolve Festival.
So Cody and I were one of the first 30 to 50 people there. Yeah. We were told we had VIP wristbands, which I guess mean nothing. I guess there was no VIP. I'm not sure. We waited in line for about 2 hours to get on the bus.
In the heat.
We were on the second bus that got in, not the first one. We were on the second bus, so we were within the first. How
and
many?
It wasn't crazy that early, like at
It
all.
wasn't that crazy. It was hot, and we waited in line for 2 hours, and there was whatever. We got there. The event was great. It started getting really busy around 4 o'clock. I called my nanny and was like, "You need to come pick us up because I'm not into concerts. I don't like festivals." We went for like pretty pictures, whatever. We did not see when we got off the bus because they don't let you drive up and out. So when we got off the bus, we were almost trampled by people. I was a little
like hiding
nervous.
behind a barrier.
There was like a barrier, and we moved over, and I was like, "We are out of here."
People
and,
were rushing the bus. It was like really actually scary.
And then we left, and that was it.
But we did not cut in line.
I never told anyone.
You
Are you put us on the bus?
How embarrassing to say, "Do you know who we are?" God, I would could never be me. Or Ben, like ever.
We will be there in about an hour, so we'll update you.
Okay, so we went yesterday to Revolve Fest, and honestly, no, waiting in line was the worst part. You had to wait in line to get on a shuttle to shuttle you over there. That's the only way you can get in, and we were there for like 2 hours.
2 hours.
But the actual festival was really nice. It was really beautiful.
It was really just the line.
Yeah, honestly, the rest of it was super chill.
And so far what I'm gathering is the like waiting around is not dramatized, but like it was just in a few tweets. But from what I'm seeing on the TikToks, people are just saying that it was just like a boring event. Like it just wasn't very fun. So I'm actually not sure, like, you know, some people are saying it was really boring, some people are saying that it was borderline dangerous, and then some people are saying they had a really good time. And I'm just confused. If you were at Revolve Festival, let me know how you enjoyed your party. And I guess that'll be it from me for today. Subscribe to that bell, like, comment for engagement. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.